What a crazy few weeks has been in Bitcoin. We all know the ETFs launched, the price tanked, and since recovered, mainly because one of the biggest trusts in Bitcoin, Grayscale, they have like 600,000 Bitcoin. They were selling Bitcoin like there's no tomorrow. They had outflows somewhere worth like $750 million a day on average. Some days it was over a billion, some days a little under, but their average was $750 million a day. And they had been dumping that for since the ETFs got approved. And a lot of the reason the price action could have gone down might have been able to be attributed to that, right? Them selling, FTX also selling through them $1 billion. So there's been a lot of selling through Grayscale that people who were once locked up no longer are and can get out, as well as their fees being at like 1.5% are just insane compared to the other fees. So people are selling to move over. Some people are selling to just say, you screw it. I've been underwater in this Grayscale thing, can finally sell for basically break even, get out of here, and doing that. But there is a good silver lining here. If you look at recently, the Grayscale dumping has been on the decline. So this is them, the Grayscale outflows, these black bars here. And they have been pretty massive for a while. And now we see since here from the 22nd about just continuously going down and down. And we're getting a little bit better to not so many outflows. So that is reflecting in the price too. The price of Bitcoin rallying, going up. You can attribute that to not as many outflows going out, right? More buyers and sellers. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to in the market is if the price goes up, there's more buyers and sellers. The price is going down, there's more sellers than buyers, right? That's the absolute most basic way you can look at it. And looking at this chart, the other ETFs are kind of killing it. Fidelity and BlackRock are really killing. I think each of them have over $1 billion of Bitcoin right now. So they are doing great, right? They have inflows every single day. They're doing their thing. And Grayscale slowing down. We finally might see the end of this insane massive selling, which also points out to things like this saying like FTX can't sell again, Genesis they can't sell again, Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, BlockFi, none of these guys who went bankrupt, who were forced to liquidate their Bitcoin and sell stuff, they cannot do that again, right? Once you sell Bitcoin, you're done. You've done all you can do, and at some point you exhaust the sellers, right? There's people who are psychopaths who are going to buy this thing no matter what and continue DCAing. And at some point, you might have someone with a huge bag who dumps, price goes down, but the holders will set a floor, and then eventually they'll just slowly grind that thing back up because they want this Bitcoin thing. And you cannot blame them. Bitcoin is great, but you just once the massive selling is done, it's gone. It's done. We've handled it. We've absorbed the $6 billion or $7 billion that Grayscale sold, and the price went down to 39K. Like, it's been perfectly fine. And looking at Bitcoin, I mean, it's just been doing its thing. We go to the month, obviously a little bit choppy, but nothing to really complain. Like, people were celebrating. Jim Cramer, Peter Schiff, these guys were celebrating the Bitcoin price going down, saying, oh my God, look at this. We were right. Bitcoin's dead. It's the worst thing in the world. And now the price grinds back up and they're silent. They're not talking about it no more. They don't want to try and talk about this, even though they're the same people at 20K or 16K who were saying it's dead. Bitcoin can go so much lower. It's going to zero. You had someone on Joe Rogan said Bitcoin's going negative. Like, that doesn't make any sense, but he still said it, right? People just, it shows you how much people just don't understand anything. And when they come out and talk about Bitcoin, it just kind of exposes people, which is kind of funny. But the market here, $22 billion for 24-hour volume. It sits around 20 to 30 billion a day. So these the market absorbed the $5-6 billion from Grayscale. The price moved down a little bit, moved back up, right? It's not moves that Bitcoin has never seen. As well as we have even more bullish news for Bitcoin, right? So the ETFs are one thing. The outflow slowing down is great. That's for the price. And eventually, you know, maybe Grayscale flips to inflows, and then you've got no selling, no outflows, and everything's looking great. So maybe we get to that point, and then who knows what happens to the price there. But this is some big news coming out from Google, right? You can see here BlackRock and VanEck are now advertising their spot Bitcoin ETFs on Google following the new policy update. So Google now allows crypto advertising. I don't know if it's Bitcoin specific or crypto. I would hope it'd be Bitcoin specific because crypto just opens up the door to all of those scams. So I haven't super looked into it, but let's hope it's Bitcoin specific just because crypto is such a mess and it's so many scammers. So, but for now, you can advertise Bitcoin and the Bitcoin ETFs. These guys are hopping out here and they are doing just that. And when you compare how big of an effect this is, you think Google, obviously the biggest by far advertising network. They do the best job doing that. That's where people go. So for the longest time, these ads weren't allowed to be on Google. Now they flipped that switch and now you are. So the ability to reach a ton of people has come into this space, as well as you combine that with Fidelity and BlackRock being in this space. They're going to send their foot soldiers to sell Bitcoin in their ETF, not because they believe in Bitcoin and think it's the greatest thing and actually can stand behind the fundamentals of Bitcoin. They want to make fees and they want to make that money. So they'll push people into their products. And instead of now where BlackRock and Fidelity, maybe not so much Fidelity because they've been pretty into Bitcoin for a while, but the big firms like BlackRock, they would sit there and if someone asked about Bitcoin, their goal was to talk them off and say, it's too risky, it's too this, it's too that, because they didn't have a way to make money from you. So if they told you, oh, you should go buy Bitcoin, put it in cold storage, and it'll be a great investment, even if you just do 2% of your portfolio, it can add some great returns for everything. But they can't make money off of that. So they won't tell you that. They'll say, it's too risky. Stay with us, stay in our funds, and we got you. Now that they have their own way that they can make money off this thing, they'll tell people, this Bitcoin thing it's kind of interesting. Maybe 1%, kind of dip your toes in the water, see how it goes, see how it impacts your portfolio, and just kind of go from there. Now they have an incentive to sell Bitcoin and get people involved instead of an incentive to not do that, because they can finally rip you off and make fees by putting you in their ETF. And I only say rip you off because honestly, if you're a normal, regular person, you don't need to have Bitcoin through an ETF. The only real reason that it would be useful is if you're in a system like a 401k or something that doesn't allow you to just go buy spot Bitcoin and self-custody it, then you really don't have a choice. But most of the time, you'll be able to go out, buy your own Bitcoin, self-custody it, and have no problems. You're not paying any fees. You're good to go. And it's not that hard, right? So to pay them this fee, and if you look over the lifetime of an investment, looking at that fee and how much money they take from you, it is disgusting. It'll have you absolutely revolting at how much money they are taking. But for now, it looks like, a lot of positive things for Bitcoin, a lot of bullishness. The selling has slowed down. The outflows have slowed down. The inflows going crazy. And advertising's back on Google for Bitcoin. So a lot of things pointing up. You got the halving coming up. We will see just how it all plays out. But it's all looking pretty good. So not too much bad to look from this. But ultimately, who knows? Who really cares over the short term? Long term, think it's going to be great. That's going to do it for this video. As always, don't forget to smash that button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video.